The break is presented by Browning Trail Cameras. You've got to see this. Closed captioning is brought to you by Alps Outdoors. This week on The Break.
Joe Hennemann is one of the original team members of The Break, but you haven't seen any of his deer hunts over the years. Well, that's changing with this episode, as you're going to see the last 3 years of Joe's deer hunts. Sit back, buckle up, and hang on. It's one heck of a ride.
Hey guys, it's 2018 youth season. I'm out here tonight in Missouri.
Joe Hennemann has been one of my best friends for 25 years or more. We deer hunted a lot together during our college days, and we share leases for whitetails now. He's been a part of The Break since the very beginning, so if you followed us over the years, you've definitely seen him on here. But it's mostly been elk hunting. Maybe you remember this hunt from 2015 at Hooker Mountain Outfitters.
Well, it's September 24th, the evening, and we're back in the blind, or this morning we hunted above this. And we saw a few elk, but we actually heard some bugling down in here, and we saw some bed down. So we know there's elk fairly close to this area. So we're just going to sit back and see if they come into this wallow that's out in front of us. That's a spike. That's a spike. Nip. It's the next morning after I shot, and we pulled out last night. We saw him up here still standing or maybe bedded down, so we pulled out and want to come back this morning. So we've just climbed up here and we're going to start looking around. We know this was the last spot he was at, but I don't see him yet, so we're going to keep just kind of looking around and see if we can find him, at least find some sign. So hang with us. Well, here he is. We came out last night and we got halfway up here and we could tell that he was still alive. So we backed out, came back this morning, and we found him. I don't know, he's probably 200 yards away from where we shot him. You can see right there where the swacker came through and got him. Amazing thing about this hunt though was, yesterday we were in the blind, so we couldn't see everything that was going on. This guy came in right behind the blind, probably at 5 to 10 yards, and then circled around and we shot him about 20. This place is awesome. We're out in Colorado with Hooker Mountain Outfitters. Tom Coster's place is unbelievable. If you ever get a chance, you got to come out here. Good luck trying to find a spot because it's always booked up. But if you ever get a chance, come out here and hunt with him. Unbelievable place, unbelievable accommodations, great people, great family, and we couldn't be happier.
I told you earlier that Joe and I share whitetail leases together, so he does deer hunt. Now what he hasn't done over the last couple of seasons is share his footage with me in time to get it into the current season. So here's a look back into his 2016 Illinois whitetail season. It was quick.
Well, here he is, folks. We just found him. 8-point, real heavy bases. This is a deer we thought was 8-point that we have on camera, but it's not. It's a different deer. We don't know this deer. Definitely a mature deer. Totally excited about it. It was a heck of a morning. Appreciate you guys coming out, Craig, Derek, being out here with me, helping me. I know we got a lot of work to do now. It's been a few years for me, so I'm excited to get one on the ground. And man, when it happens quick. And when you're self-filming, it's a little bit crazy up in that stand, but man, it's a ton of fun. Very cool morning. You're watching The Break.
For as long as I can remember, the Browning name has meant something to people in the outdoors. So when I went looking for a trail camera that I could depend on, there was only one name that came to mind: Browning Trail Cameras. So if you're looking for a trail camera that's easy to use, is unbelievably reliable, and takes amazing pictures and videos, there's only one brand that I trust: Browning Trail Cameras.
Browning Speed combines advanced fabrics, tailored fit, and innovative camouflage. Hunt harder, faster, and stronger than ever. Speed, killer clothing.
This segment of The Break is brought to you by HHA Sports. What's up, everybody? Derek Dernberger here with The Break. I'm out here on a new farm, and you see my partner Joey Hennemann back there checking trail cameras.
312 picks, man.
312 picks. So this is a new farm that we just picked up a couple of weeks ago, and we put our cameras out, and then we put 4 of them on this bean field. All right, so we're in Illinois. You can't use bait or mineral or any sort of attractant to try to get an inventory of your deer. So you got to do it the natural way. So we just put them on corners of the field. So we've got one back there on that corner, got one back there on that corner, and we've got one here in the middle of the field, but it's right on this logging road. And you can see when we come out here, we knew they'd be crossing here, but you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but if you can, they just tearing it up coming out of this logging road. So 312 pictures here, a couple hundred on the corners of the fields. The things you got to do when you're looking at a new property, give it a try. I think it'll help.
Hey folks, we're back over in Illinois on our lease, and today we're putting up mock scrapes. We just set this one up right here. Right back behind me is the 2-acre food plot that we have. What we have back here is we have 50, 60 acres as part of this lease. It's woods, and it's a big ridge that comes funneled straight down into this little 2-acre, and then also we got about a 25-acre field over here. And it's kind of a natural corridor that comes together right here. So we're hoping that by setting up this mock scrape right here, it'll kind of funnel these bucks in here. And a couple things. First off, we want to make sure we just got some good bucks in terms of on camera, and then secondly, we get them coming in here, we'll be able to hunt them. So that's kind of our plan. Hopefully this will work and we'll start getting some good picks.
This whole area in general is known for great deer. So when we set those Browning trail cameras out, the anticipation was through the roof every time we went to pull the cards. But all summer, total disappointment. We got a lot of does and fawns, maybe a small buck here and there, but that's it. We went over in early November to check the cameras again, hoping that a buck had finally moved in. I'm scrolling through the videos on the mock scrape, and we've got a decent 8-point. Craig said right away, I'd shoot that one. All right, that's Craig's 8. I start scrolling through the videos again. Here's a nice 9-point. Joe said, I'd shoot him. Okay, that's Joe's 9. I keep scrolling, and I get to this guy. Since both Craig and Joe called their bucks, guess what? That's Double D's 12. That's me, by the way. Those are my initials. We check the other cameras, and Double D's 12 is everywhere. All at night, but at least he's around. It's time to start hunting this farm. Joe and I are out here a couple mornings later. We're both self-videoing, which you know is tough, and Joe's got a buck running in.
Me! 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 Me!
Did you see that buck's legs walk right through the top of the frame? It's tough to self-video, especially when a buck is moving that fast. But Joe was able to get a shot off, and it was a hit. Now quit laughing at Joe's stop call.
Well, it's November 9th and it's about noon, and Derek and I are actually heading back into the woods.
I shot one about 10:30 this morning. We're gonna go recover, hopefully recover. We gave it a couple hours. We're coming back in and we're gonna go see if we can find this guy. It was crazy how the whole thing went down. I'll probably talk more about it later, but he came from the field and went into the woods, and I called him in a couple hundred yards away. So hopefully we'll go find him.
He's just pumping blood from running. Wow, that's a lot of blood. That's good. Let that alone. I don't know.
Is that not a ton of blood?
Yeah. Right there. Up that trail. There he goes. Get down, get down.
You saw him?
I saw a buck get up and take off running.
That's him. That's where we're at. Was he running hard?
He just stood up and trotted away. He's a monster. At this point, we're doing what we should have done right away. Back out and not bump him again. We waited until the next morning to get back after it, and Craig come to help with the tracking and hopeful recovery.
So this is where he jumped him up from, you think? Or was it further?
It could have been. Probably was, actually. Because when I saw him, he jumped over that way.
Our veterans and those currently serving have selflessly volunteered for duty and risked their lives for the benefit of all Americans. With this in mind, the Niestedt Foundation was established to show gratitude for these individuals by providing the opportunity to participate in unbelievable outdoor experiences. Each event we organize is strongly rooted in our 4 guiding principles: respect, integrity, connecting individuals, and empowerment. Visit Niestedt.org to discover how you can create a brighter America for those who have sacrificed so much.
This segment is brought to you by Bison Coolers.
Joe Hennemann shot a good buck in Illinois, and we bumped him tracking him a few hours after the shot. We got back on the trail the next morning to hopefully recover him.
He's on this trail now. Right here. Here.
The blood trail was spotty and really hard to follow at times, so I just got on top of the ridge and started glassing. Luckily enough, I saw Joe's buck at the bottom of the hill.
You see him?
See his butt?
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh my God.
Oh. Oh my God.
That's a 12.
Oh.
You gotta be kidding me, man. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Wow. I don't know what to say. That's unbelievable. Thank you guys for helping me. That's a heck of a tracking job. What a long night, long afternoon. I shot this guy at 10:30 yesterday morning, and Derek and I tracked him for about 200 yards, and we jumped him up. And it was a beautiful blood trail. That's the reason why we kept going. even though it was 200 yards, we probably should just backed out then, but we jumped him up and we got the heck out of there. And so from 11:30 or 12 o'clock to just now, it's a pretty stressful night and afternoon. But we got back on it this morning. It was a kind of a sparse blood trail, but we just stayed at it. What do you think? How far did he go?
We've gone a couple hundred yards since.
So 400 yards probably, something like that. We know this deer though. This is the cool thing about it. We got trail cam pictures and video of this guy, and I don't know what to say. I've never killed anything close to this. It's pretty cool. I'm just kind of lost for words right now. Awesome.
Even though Joey shot my buck, I was super excited for him. Absolutely just an awesome buck. We got this old boy back to the truck, and of course we had to put the tape on him.
All right, got the final tally. What'd you say?
I said 165.
And I said
167.
167 and 4/8.
Yeah, real nice. Now again, that's Illinois. Remember, we're from Missouri, and Joey has a buck, a really good buck on his home farm that he's been hunting for the last 2 years. Joe's gotten pictures of this buck, but hasn't seen him while hunting until now. So Joe finally has his #1 target buck in Missouri at 35 yards. I remember this day like it was yesterday. Joe and I live on opposite sides of the interstate. I was hunting that same day as the crow flies maybe 400 yards from Joey, again just on the other side of the interstate. I get a text from Joe saying, "I've got Bruno at 35 yards, but his right beam is broke off just past his G2. Should I shoot him and just get his rack fixed?" My reply was, "You just killed a 167-inch 12-point in Illinois. Bruno's not going anywhere. Let him go and let him grow that right side back because he will be a stud next year."
Banks Outdoors is the place that connects family.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. That was unreal.
This is the place that connects friends.
Bro, you did it.
What a phenomenal story.
This is the place that brings excitement.
3, bro.
Most importantly, this is the place where memories are made.
Dad, I will never forget this moment.
Neither will I, buddy. Neither will I.
Why do I shoot in Indian Creek? He's deader than a hammer. Indian Creek once again.
The break is brought to you by Mech Outdoors, Extreme Blower Products, and these fine sponsors.
November 2nd, we're up in the Banks Blind here in Missouri. Man, we hunted this morning, just didn't have any luck. Matter of fact, we didn't see anything. First time I've set in a morning hunt on this farm in 3 years and not seen a deer, so it's kind of a bummer. So the jury deer cast was correct. They said not going to be a good morning, and it wasn't. So pressure didn't really rise, and the moon phase is terrible right now. So anyway, but it's November 2nd, so you gotta hunt, man. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. I'm on the food plot. This is where I get most of the activity. I'm looking for a deer called His name is Bruno. This is what he looks like. I named him after my dad. My dad passed away a year ago, and so I've been hunting him while my dad was still alive. Anyway, this is the guy we're after. Now, if another deer comes through, I'm going to show you a picture of him. This one, named him this guy here. Pretty good deer too. We're thinking he's a 4.5-year-old. I had a little bit of history with him from 2 years ago when he was 2.5. Had a bunch of pictures of him and he just disappeared. Well, he's back. And we call him Foggy Jr. And it's because my neighbor, the guy you guys know, Derek Durenberger, the break chief hunter, a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, he killed a deer called Foggy. And this guy that I just showed you looks just like him.
Foggy's down right up here. Oh, I'm so glad I stayed put. I know the footage is terrible. It's terrible. All you can see is probably his body under that log up there, but I couldn't help it. He was getting ready to take off at that doe again, and I just dropped him right there. I know that's Foggy. If it's not Foggy, it's a big buck, so we're gonna go check him out. He's right up here.
I mean, it's gotta be his grandson or his some relative for sure. So we're gonna get after it. It's November, gotta get going.
Over the last several years, Joe has done a ton of work to his farm. He's created the perfect whitetail habitat. He's got thick cover for bedding, multiple ponds for water, and year-round food sources. It's everything a mature buck is looking for, and it shows. He's got 3 shooters this year on his farm: Bruno, Foggy Jr., and Sweeper. It's just a matter of time before one of them shows up. And that time is the opening day of gun season. Joe is self-videoing, and again, it's not as easy as you think. He's filming out of one window, shooting out of the next. It doesn't take much, and the deer is out of the frame. I got the text, BBD, I'm on my way. Same one you saw this morning?
Yeah. It's the big sweeping, you know, it's the one that I got trail cam picked up. I've never seen him before. This year is the first time I've ever seen him.
The one I got last.
Yeah. This is the biggest deer we've killed on this farm. It's been a long time coming. Been hunting here for quite a while, but honestly, for the last few years, I've put a lot of time and effort in trying to make this farm better. And with the CRP and with these food plots, and the fact that we're kind of letting them grow, we're finally starting to get some big deer. So this is kind of the fruit of our labor. This buck goes out to my pop. My pop died about 1.5 years ago, and he helped me start this thing, and we've been doing it for a while, and this one goes to you, Dad.
Joe has had a few really good years of deer hunting, and I suspect 2019 to be another good year because on the same night that Joe killed Sweeper, Bruno is back.